Continuing coverage of NAB. Look, we got Dan. We talked to him last year from HP. We're going to talk to him again about some really cool 4K monitors. We're going to do that next.
It's Geekazine's coverage of NAB 2014, and it's brought to you by our friends over at Otherworld Computing, celebrating 25 years.
Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine.com. We're here with Dan from HP. How you doing, Dan?
Great. It's great to see you again this year.
Yeah, you too. You too. Now, I was at your closed event, and I got to check out these monitors and check out all the 4K solutions. And it's like, this is awesome. Most of the people that we work with are not as in tune with 4K just yet, but they're going to have to be, especially with a monitor. It'd be nice to have a nice crisp display to do some editing. So, You guys have two great solutions, and we're going to take a look at one of them right now.
Right. Yeah, here at NAB we announced two new workstation class monitors. Okay. Both of them are Dreamcolor. And for those who have come across the Dreamcolor product that was out for the last 6 years or so, most people love it. It's kind of slightly love-hate relationship, but It's been a really, really cool monitor and has been used on a lot of big movies that have come out recently.
But any names you can throw out?
Oh, sure. Life of Pi, Frozen, Great Gatsby. You know,
all of those three I love. They're great movies.
And anything from Dreamworks.
Anything? Oh yeah, that's true. In fact, yeah, Kate Swanborg from Dreamworks was at that event talking.
Right. So there's been a lot of love for the Dreamcolor display we've had out in the past, but here at NAB with the new products, we're upping the bar enormously and reducing the price a lot too, which is going to be interesting to.
That's good for some of these home creators that are just going to get into 4K in the next couple of years. This is going to be perfect. So, what do we got here now?
Well, so what we're going to focus on for this segment is the Z27x, which is the new 27-inch Dreamcolor display from HP. Okay. We also have a Z24x, which is more of a prosumer type of product, priced at $599. Okay. 24-inch, 1920 by 1200, color critical, but not really filled with the same kind of functionality that this 27-inch product has. Okay. So the price for this, I'm going to start with that.
Okay, hold on to your wallets. There's my wallet. Okay, go.
Is $14.99 US dollars.
$14.99. Oh, $1,499. No, that's actually not too bad if you think about what you got quality.
Well, here we go. It is a monitor which can give you almost everything you want for 4K production. Okay. It's color critical. It is syncs to any frame rate. It gives you very high quality 4K imagery on the screen if you feed it 4K video from a camera or from an interface like an AJA IO 4K. Okay. You get super smooth, beautiful looking 4K, but it is not a true 4K panel. Okay. It's a 2.5K panel. Okay. And we do scaling on it to make sure you can see your whole frame, and that's very carefully designed scaling to make it look super natural, very, very usable. But you can also zoom in on any part of the frame you want in real time while the video is playing to get to see your pixel for pixel so that you can check your focus and other things you need to do.
Okay, so it basically has a lot of functionality even though it's not a full 4K monitor.
Totally. And in fact, I haven't even scratched the surface of all the functionality. There's a ton of things it can do.
Of course, if it wasn't for our sponsor, we would not be at NAB and you wouldn't be catching some of this action. OWC. You know, they have some great memory for you. They got SSD drives for you. They've got a more enterprise solution in their Jupiter line. They've got a lot of great stuff. Memory that's made here in the United States, memory that you can put into your Apple, so you can put in your PC. You can put SSD. You could put an SSD into your Pentium 1 computer using the IDE transfer cable. And they've got little adapters that'll do that for you. Lots of cool ways to make your computer have a longer life. Make your computer work a little bit more and save your PC, save your Mac. We have the hashtag #SaveMyMac. Tell me how you're putting memory from OWC into your MacBook. Maybe your 2007 MacBook, you just put on some Mavericks or something like that. Or maybe you just got the brand new Mac Pro and you want to add more memory but don't want to pay Apple prices. They've got solutions at a fraction of the price. You can check that out over at geekazine.com/OWC. Geekazine.com/OWC for some great ways. And then use that hashtag #SaveMyMac to tell me how you save money and memory on your Mac. I noticed it's got like a little hood there. Why don't we talk about that really quick?
Okay, so there's an optional hood, and I confess I have not been told the price of that. Okay. So your viewers will have to find out for themselves what the price is. But it's a useful hood, which is ideal if you're using this on set as a monitor for a camera. Now the hood also has a little openable window here.
So you can put your hand in there?
So you can put your hand in there, or I don't know, drop food down to a colorist who's... the real reason for that is so that you can hang your color probe down here for calibrating the display.
So you've got software and hardware solution for color calibration.
No, just hardware. Let me tell you, this is one of the coolest things about this monitor. Those people who've been exposed to the previous Dreamcolor display will probably not have had a terribly happy experience calibrating.
Yeah.
It's been a bit persnickety, a bit difficult. Getting calibration right is really tough, and in fact, getting your whole color pipeline right is really tough. You've got to get your profiles lined up, your input profile, your working space profile, your device profile, all that kind of thing you've got to figure out. But what we do at HP is we give you a monitor that we can guarantee is accurate as a display device for a particular color space, whether it's BT709 or sRGB, or Adobe RGB, or DCI P3, which we cover 99%. On this one, you just take your coloring probe.
You're just taking this device, is it USB
USB thing, and there's a USB port on the back of the monitor. You just plug it in, and the monitor says, hey, you want to calibrate? And it will calibrate.
And then you drop that down on the screen. You put it on the screen in the area. Is it in the area that you want, or?
There will be a thing that pops up on the screen, and we can look at this in the deeper segment in just a minute, where it'll say, put it right here, and then you click go with one of the buttons, and it will calibrate. And there's no computer required, and that's golden, because that means that it's just foolproof, push button easy. But that's not all right? There's more.
There's more.
You might be a studio who's invested some money in a high-end calibration like this, or Photo Research PR665, or something like that. Well, there's a number of those calibration probes that we support natively in the display. So this one also has a USB connector on the end of the cable, and I can plug this directly into the monitor, and it'll say, hey, I recognize that probe, I can calibrate. You want me to? And it will calibrate. And for those who are really geeks, there's a parameter called delta E, which is a measurement of your deviation of color from what it's supposed to be. When you use a high-end device like this, the delta E across the entire gamut on this is about 1, which is astonishingly good. I mean, a delta E of 3 is kind of perceptible, just about. 1 is just amazing.
I hate to see what my monitors are at right now. So, can you plug it in these devices into a non Z27x monitor and calibrate those?
No. No, you can't. On the Z24X, you would need HP's probe plus some software that we have for that monitor, and you would calibrate it via the workstation or the Mac.
But it would only be for those 2 monitors at that point.
Right.
Okay. Well, lots of cool stuff. I think we got the basics here. Let's talk about the price really quick, and then we'll geek out in the rest here.
Okay. So you've forgotten the price already. It was $14.99.
You did say, $14.99. No, $14.99 for this monitor, and you had the other one, the $5.99.
$5.99 for the 24-inch.
I remember that.
Yeah, good.
That's easy. All right, so we zoomed in a little bit on the monitor here, so we got an idea. So you plugged it in USB, and we see on the screen a little bit of welcome here.
So on the screen it says, do you want to recalibrate the current preset? So I'm going to say, yes, I want to recalibrate. It gives me a target on the screen, so I'm going to take the Klein probe, put it right there, and then tell it to start the calibration.
And these are buttons on the side of the monitor.
Right. Right now, the monitor is using this probe to measure itself, to measure its physical performance for color and tone. When it's done, it will refresh the internal lookup table, which results in, I'm going to try and get this on camera, a big triangle here for the monitor's gamut, and a smaller triangle here representing BT709. We do color management down from the big one to the smaller one. The cool thing is we do that at 14-bit precision.
Really?
So the red, green, and blue channels, 14 bits each. That's 4.4 tera colors in the internal processing.
And it looks like we've got the calibration done here.
Yep. That happened, so it got calibrated.
And even you knocked it while you were trying to talk about the triangles, but even with that, it looks spectacular.
Well, so the fact that I knocked it probably means that there may be something that's a little off. I don't know.
You might have to recalibrate, but
It's
from that, it looks pretty. And that was what, 2 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah. Now the Z24X, is that very similar in the calibration?
It's a little more complicated because you have to use software on the PC to do it.
After it's all been loaded.
But yeah, sure. Once the software is done and the calibration is done, it updates the lookup table on the monitor itself. So you truly are adjusting the color behavior of the monitor when calibrating, which is the whole point.
That's cool. That is awesome. All right, so now we saw the calibration. Looks pretty cool. what else do we need to know about this Z27X?
Okay, so the image that you're seeing on here is actually a 4096 by 2160 frame.
Yes.
Which has an aspect ratio which is taller than what you can see here. So you may think this is kind of narrow vertically, and the reason is that I'm actually applying visual blanking in the monitor itself.
Okay.
I'm letterboxing deliberately to an aspect ratio of 2.39 to 1.
Okay.
And I can select that from a menu. I can turn it on and off, I can choose a different ratio. And the reason for that is if I'm using this as an on-set monitor, and I know that my project is cinematic, it's really useful to see what my cinematic rectangle looks like so I can compose my shot.
Okay.
You know, you get people on set who will take tape and put tape across the monitor to show them what the rectangle is for cinema. In this case, we can just do it in monitor by blanking. So that's a cool little feature.
That is very cool. I mean, I don't deal with the cinema, but you know that I would start even with stuff I do, maybe I start thinking that same way.
Right, and sometimes just doing that highly letterboxed content, even in a HD 16:9 field, has that certain style to it, doesn't it? It makes it look, hey, this is cinema. You know, it's just a stylistic thing.
All right, so we saw the basics of the Z27X. If you really want to get geeky, we're gonna put out a very special video on youtube.com/Geekazine. You can check it out, where we're gonna really talk about for photographers, for videographers, how you can find out about blurry pixels, how you can find out making your pictures pop like this one right behind me, and go from there. So check that out, Geekazine.com. Remember the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Geekazine, and then my hashtag is always Geek Out.